And yep, there we go. Both runners have started, and we're starting in Cap Kingdom. And we may already, at the very first kingdom, see some differences in the two routes that they take. Some minor things, but still a difference. We may see one of the runners go for, at the end of the kingdom, a left side cap as opposed to a right. But we'll see. It's very difficult and risky to do in a race for sure. So we'll see if any of them have the confidence to go for that. But understandable if they both choose to do the right side. It would make sense. And we'll see here. Julgane starts with that spin pound roll to save that extra half second, and HDlax just starts the roll a little bit normally there, which is fine. Just getting rolling, as is usual. Rolling over the switch. See if they get a smooth... Oh, Julgane bonks there, but HDlax takes an extra dive, which is slightly slower, but he didn't get the bonk, so it was faster in this case than Julgane, due to his bonk there. So HDlax, 2 seconds ahead because of that now. Maybe a little bit more. Into the frog room, where we will likely see frog vectoring here, where you'll see the frog zigzagging a little bit, and that'll get some extra speed, but looks like HDlax won't be vectoring yet. HDlax not vectoring, and Julgane just going straight either. Alright, we're just going straight too. So both of them chose not to vector, and it can be slower if you do it wrong, so maybe they're just not comfortable with it yet, but it looks like Julgane is going for that left side jump. We'll see if he gets it. If he does, he may bring back all the time he lost there, and yep, he pulls back a lot of the time as he HDlax did take the right side, and now they're pretty much neck and neck as HDlax took some damage there. And yep, almost in sync, these two boss fights. So they're very close at the end of this first kingdom. Julgane taking that left side, bringing some time back, but some minor mistakes earlier on was enough to counteract the time save from the left side that Julgane took. So they're pretty much in sync now, which is kind of cool to see. Both a 232 Cap Kingdom. Pretty solid. It's probably my average Cap Kingdom, so I would be happy with that. Now we'll see both of them going for the chain chomp, getting this first moon here. They both opt to do a spin pound there, which, if it's not done perfectly, it actually loses time. So I think that both of them did lose time over a regular roll, because both of them did spin a little bit. Both getting this first moon. Looks like HDlax is slightly ahead just because of a slightly faster spin pound there. Or just a little bit better rolling, more direct to the chain jump. Now we'll see them go across the bridge, and the left side of the bridge is a little bit faster, so we will likely see they both go that way, but maybe one of them might spin pound roll and the other one might dive. We can see here. And one of them did choose to dive, but HDlax actually opting to go for the right side, which is slightly slower. So you can see that Julgane pulled that back there after doing that, but HDlax takes the faster strategy up, which saves about 0.8 seconds, so they're tied again. HDlax doing a bit of a faster strategy there with the jumping right away, but he does miss that dino jump where Julgane gets it on the first try. HDlax having some trouble there, while Julgane getting in there. Does he get it? Oh, he does get the trigger there, and Julgane's fight seems to be going pretty well, and we'll see Julgane jumping on the chain chomp and then pulling it right away pretty quick. Can be done a little bit faster than that if you are a little bit further away from Madame Brutal, but still pretty solid. Julgane, or HDlax, opting not to throw his hat first, which is fine. Might be a little bit slower than Julgane's strategy, but it's probably safer, so... Yep, HDlax finishing up the boss fight, so... Despite missing Dino Skip there, they're still very close. Dino Skip maybe lost him 10 seconds or so, so... Seems like there is maybe a 10 or 12 second difference, I'd guess, without actually counting. Now we'll pick up one last moon in Cascade Kingdom here, and move on to the next one, Sand, where Sand is very difficult, so there's a good chance we'll see one of them making a bit of a mistake somewhere, and one of them will pull ahead a little bit further. Sand Kingdom is one of the difficult ones, and Julgane, with the older version of the game, he may be able to do Sphinx Slip here and pull ahead a little bit more, but we'll see. HDlax in the chat there. But, yeah, Julgane finishing off the kingdom, gets that moon really quick, and HDlax diving right through the moon there. It's kind of annoying. If the moon isn't 100% on the screen when you jump into it, it doesn't actually have collision yet. So you can see there that he jumped right through because he jumped through it as it wasn't fully on screen yet, but manages to pick it up and go back to the Odyssey really fast, and we're both probably going to see a fairly solid Cascade from the both of them. And Julgane with a sub-6 Cascade, which is really solid, and HDlax pretty close there too. Looks like there may only be a 10-second lead from Julgane, which is really not much at all in a race of this length. We're only about 10% of the way through, so there's a lot left. The Julgane, skipping that action guide, and going to sand here. Very close. We'll see here if HDlax gets the bird early or if he gets it late, because since he can't Sphinx Clip, he can get the bird at the Oasis, but he may play it safe and get the bird a little bit earlier here, which I expect he will do. Most people do that if they're not going to go for Sphinx Clip, but who knows? We will see. Julgane getting that moon pretty smoothly, has a little bit of trouble grabbing it at the very end, but making it up on the fountain, pretty solid. And Julgane getting the spin pound, real stylish, and HDlax had a bit of an easier time getting that moon on top of the building there, but he does wait for the bird, just like I said, and picks up that moon as Julgane is skipping the bird, and he will get it later at the end of the level when he is in the Oasis. Julgane missing the moon ground pound, takes a second try. It's kind of difficult to see where you got a ground pound there, so it makes sense that miss it occasionally, especially in a high pressure setting like a race. It's really easy to miss. And something interesting, we may see one of them try Dram Strat here. It's pretty difficult. Not a lot of people do it in runs yet, but it'll be cool to see if he does it. And HDlax does get that ground pound on the first try, so that's nice. And it looks like Julgane bonks, so Dram Strat isn't an option anymore because the platform will have a bit of a improper position to be able to make that. HDlax almost bonks, but grabs the ledge there, so that's good. Didn't fall down as Julgane gets this moon. And they do actually have the same amount of moons right now because HDlax did pick that one up a little bit earlier, but HDlax opting not to go for Dram Strat either. Will Julgane be able to keep the Bullet Bill alive here is the question, because that'll be 5 seconds, which will, if Julgane kills the Bullet Bill, that will allow for 5 seconds for HDlax to catch up, but he does keep it alive as HDlax has a tiny bit of trouble getting up, but he is up on that ice pillar there, and looks like HDlax unfortunately might have killed the Bullet Bill. We will see. The Bullet Bill needs to go generally to the left, and he went right there, so that will be a 5-second time loss from HDlax, as Julgane is pulling ahead a little bit more. And now we will be able to see if Julgane will clip into the back of the Sphinx. I'm not sure if they had an agreement there, and that's another 5 seconds for Julgane, because HDlax did kill another Bullet Bill, which just takes forever to respawn. It's really unfortunate, and Julgane is going for that Sphinx clip, which is very difficult, and he gets it first try, so really good from Julgane. But did he clip in there? It looks like he did accidentally clip into that room, so we may actually have to do Sphinx clip another time. And he will be going for it a second time, so wow, he gets it twice in a row. Excellent from Julgane. Excellent recovery, but it did allow HDlax some time to catch up there. And that's impressive. 2 clips in a row is pretty difficult. Not a lot of people go for that. Now we can see HDlax not even going in the Sphinx. He will be going into the sand, though, to pick up this moon in here. But you'll be seeing him take the pipe, and instead of going to the Sphinx here, he will be going to straight to where Julgane will be going. But the thing to note about HDlax is he isn't getting the money from the Sphinx. So what he's going to have to do here is actually pick up some extra money either somewhere through the kingdoms, as he does have to buy 2 moons eventually, or he may just be going to Seaside Kingdom first, as it will give him enough money to buy those moons in Snow Kingdom. But we'll see what happens as the run progresses. But there was a little bit of sloppy movement from Julgane there, so we may actually have to get a second cycle bird around the Oasis. So we will see. That may give HDlax a little bit of an opportunity to catch up here, because if you get the second cycle bird, that's 7 to 10 seconds, and we'll see the bird here. If he was a little bit slow, the bird will be flying right by, but it looks like he will be just in time for the bird. Didn't miss it, so not that much of a time loss, as HDlax is just a moon and a little bit behind, because since HDlax didn't get that Sphinx moon, he has to get this moon in the pile and then another one from the notes on top of the tree. And we'll see here that HDlax is getting the notes, which he's getting the notes, and you saw Julgane warped to the Odyssey there. Well, HDlax is actually going to roll over to it, because it is faster to roll over to the Odyssey from here than to warp, where over on that, just a little bit further away, it's faster to warp. A little bit of a difference there, and it looks like there is a bit more of a lead between Julgane and HDlax. Julgane finishing his sand at 11:31, and HDlax will be coming up on the end of sand here soon, as Julgane moves into Lake Kingdom, which is one of the shorter ones. I don't expect we see anything terrible going wrong. There's not too much to mess up in the kingdom, but we will see. And HDlax finishing Sand Kingdom at 11:54, which is 23 seconds behind Julgane, but still not that significant. A single mistake, a single death can make up all of that time. We will see here Julgane going for the first moon, ground pounding this little pile here. Opts not to roll. You can just roll straight to that moon, but it can be pretty tricky to get. He throws his cap and vaults off of it while he's picking up the moon there. Rolls and hopefully gets a zipper on the first try. It is easy to miss, but he does get it. And we'll be rolling down here. And you see Julgane miss that single coin there, which actually reveals, I think, another 30 coins. We'll likely see HDlax picking up those coins because he didn't get the money from Sphinx Clip, or just the Sphinx in general. But Julgane not really having any troubles, and seems like HDlax is having an easy time with Lake Kingdom as well so far. No major mistakes yet, but you don't expect too many major mistakes. And HDlax does opt to miss that coin there, so he's likely going to be going to Seaside first because of that. So in the middle of the run, we will see a big difference in the order that these kingdoms are going to be done. But I do believe Julgane... Ooh, actually, it'll be kind of close with Julgane, but if he picks up enough money in the boss fight, you should have enough for the future moons he has to purchase. But he does get that the wall jump with the fish very smoothly, and the first hit of the boss fight really quick. He does do a little bit of a slower strategy for the both of those, but they are a lot safer doing it the way he did it, so it makes sense considering they're in a race setting. And we will see HDlax doing the same strategy where he wall jumps. It is possible to just dive up with the fish, but it can be a little bit more tricky. And you'll see pretty much the same strategy for both of them with the boss fights, where you just run up to him and dive right on his head. And now we will be seeing backflips from HDlax, where I think Julgane might have ground pound. I'm not sure exactly if Julgane did the ground pound strategy where you do a backflip and then you do a ground pound. I find it easier myself, but most people just did backflips for a while because the ground pound wasn't very well known. Julgane finishing up Lake Kingdom here, and Julgane may have pulled ahead by just a little bit. We'll see. I don't think either of them made any major mistakes, so I expect the lead will be about the same at around 25 seconds. So we'll see. Julgane finishes that at 14:34, and HDlax will be finishing that a little bit later, and we'll see here the time that HDlax has. So 14:34 versus a maybe 15 minutes. 14:58, which is a 24-second lead, I believe. So still not that big of a lead. Wooded is another difficult one. It's pretty easy to die on and make mistakes. So we'll see Julgane here picking up this rock, smashing the bunny, and then smashing the rock right after. And gets that really smooth. It's pretty tricky to hit the rabbit there on the way by, so good that he got it. I'm going to purchase his first moon, and he will need another 100 coins for a moon in the future, so he may opt to go to Seaside first. We will see. And HDlax going for a different strategy, a little bit older, but definitely easier, so he gets the rabbit first, and then he breaks the rock without picking up a rock before he hits the rabbit. And then Julgane rolling over this waterfall after purchasing the moon, and he's going to be climbing up and busting another nut here. Another nut, the first nut of Wooded, first nut of many, and gets it really nice and smooth. 3 backflips, really fast, and now he'll be jumping down, pulling the switch, opening the door, and moving on as HDlax is just finished purchasing that moon there, and climbing the waterfall as well, and doing a little bit more of a direct path there, so saved a little bit of time on Julgane just because he did go a little bit faster as Julgane busts his second nut and jumps down to the pipes below, where this is one of the very tricky sections of Wooded Kingdom. We may see Julgane make a mistake here, because if you make a single mistake on this section, it'll mess up the entire cycle, and you'll have to wait for the slower cycle to pass, but we'll see here what happens. And it looks like Julgane does take a little bit of damage there, so we will have to wait for the water to likely go all the way back up here, and he does, as HDlax is just entering, so that's probably 15 seconds that HDlax will be able to make up if he doesn't make any mistakes in these pipes, but anything can happen. It is a very difficult section, as I said. Tough platforming, but looks good so far. And Julgane's leaving, climbing up the tower here, and seems he does take the damage there too, unfortunately, so not as much of a time save at all, but not a time loss on Julgane. Still gets out at about the same amount of time, so didn't lose any time for HDlax there because Julgane did make the same mistake, but still a little bit ahead there. Julgane leaves this uproot, and HDlax climbs the tower as well. Julgane not falling into deep woods. It's pretty much a death sentence for your run if you do fall into deep woods, so good that he didn't. Now he's gonna go bust another nut over here, and he does land right on it. Very nice and smooth. One of the faster ways of doing it. Jumping right on top there. Pretty tricky to get, but he made it look nice and easy, as we will see him pick up the moon. HDlax going across here, not having any troubles with the jump, not falling into deep woods, which is fantastic. And now we will see HDlax going around this corner here, picking up this moon. And you can see he is going from the bottom side, which is slightly slower. Give it about 1.5 to 2 seconds as Julgane tries to do this flower skip. Failing it twice here, 3 times, having some trouble. He chooses to go for the switch. So this does give HDlax an opportunity to catch up if he does get that flower skip. So chose to take the flower path and then misses that dive onto the nut, so a few mistakes that are giving some HDlax some time to catch up here, and we will see if HDlax does do that flower skip to catch up. If he's thinking he's behind and should do it, but no, he opts to go for the flower path, which still saves time over Julgane because he didn't try and fail 3 times. He just went for the path initially, so he is saving time over Julgane here. As Julgane is moving to the last nut busts it, and will be moving to the boss fight now after this final moon that he will be picking up right there. HDlax rolling right off the edge, getting into the tower just as Julgane is leaving, which just goes to show how short this tower actually is. Can't be more than 30 seconds. Julgane's entering the boss fight. We'll see if he does the incredible fast strats where you have to throw your hat And he is going to do the safer strategy where you throw your hat and just regular jump up onto Spirit, which is a little bit safer and definitely easier, but it gives him some more time to pick up those coins that he will absolutely need. Julgane's finishing the fight. And here we go, HDlax at a really smooth tower as well as he enters the boss fight. Just like that. And HDlax opting not to pick up the coins, it seems. So, interesting. And he does miss that one dive. Another dive takes damage, unfortunately, but he does have that heart there, and he's probably going to choose to pick it up. Julgane's just finishing up Wooded Kingdom here, as HDlax is just finishing up the fight, but they both do not have very many coins, so it'll be interesting to see what they were able to do to get that coin count to the amount that they need, which is 100 coins. But I think right now I'm expecting both of them to be forced to go to Seaside first, and if one of them do forget to go to Seaside first, that may be a problem, because then they'll have to find some coins in Snow Kingdom, but we'll see when they come to that. But I didn't catch how far Julgane is ahead now, but it can't be more than 35 seconds, but it looks like Julgane did make up a little bit of time with that Wooded Kingdom. They both pretty much had a pretty similar Wooded Kingdom, but Julgane's might have been slightly cleaner, aside from the flower skip there. But Julgane trying this Cloud Kingdom now, as HDlax is just moving on to there. And we'll see if they both do good Bowser fights, because you can easily lose 10 to 15 seconds just by missing one of these hats on the Bowser. So Julgane gets the first one really nice and easy there. Moving over to the other side, and Bowser's going to get ready to throw his other hat, and will we get another good hat capture? Yes, he does, so that's another one. HDlax getting onto the arena, nice and easy, as Julgane is finishing off with the final stage of this Bowser fight, and gets the first hat, just as Julgane did, and Julgane finishing off the boss fight, didn't have any problems whatsoever there, which is fantastic. Finishing up Cloud Kingdom there at around a 22:33, it looks like, 22:34. And HDlax does miss that hat, unfortunately, so we will have to do the slower strategy here for this one. But he does get it on the second try, it looks like, and Bowser does do the jump cycle as well, so that's another maybe 10 seconds or so lost, which is really unfortunate. But if Julgane dies and lost, all of that time can be brought back, because a single death and lost can be very consequential. Yeah, it does get that extra cycle, unfortunately. He does take the damage and gets that hat on this last cycle, which is good, because if you miss the hat on the last cycle, then you do lose the most amount of time. But a little bit further ahead now, but any mistake from Julgane in Lost Kingdom can basically bring it back to being an even race here. But Julgane is a decent amount ahead due to that the issue on the Bowser fight there. The HDlax starting as Julgane is about halfway done. And Julgane almost bonking on that tree there, which really would have equalized the race. But HDlax having some trouble with that meme tree, but he does get up top pretty swiftly. Julgane gets the 6th moon there, and is about to break this rock with the bug, and he does. Gets that moon that's a little bit hidden there. HDlax does a bit of a risky strategy, probably trying to make up some time there. And Julgane saying LMAO in chat, so perhaps he might have died. But Julgane going for that cage. And HDlax seem to have a good time. We'll see Julgane getting the final moon here. Hopefully he gets it, but he may miss the moon and die. Nope, he does get it, so... Oh, he does die at the very end, trying to get out, so he did lose 6 seconds if HDlax does manage to survive that, because it does lose about 6 seconds the more important thing maybe is that he lost 10 coins because of it, so that may be consequential with the route he's taking. He may have to take Seaside if he does not have enough coins by the end of Metro here, because the last kingdom before you go to Snow is generally Metro, and that's the one he's moving into. So, based on how it's looking, both runners may have to go to Seaside, but HDlax doing a little bit of a safer one with the stone cage there, and we will be seeing HDlax going for this moon in a bit of a different way, but it's a little bit easier to get from this angle, and he does get it, and it looks like he will likely survive this. Oh, they both bonked on the bridge, so no time save from HDlax there, unfortunately. But HDlax is finished as Julgane is moving in Night Metro, which is one of the most difficult platforming sections. There's a lot that can go wrong here. Pretty much every jump you are able to die on. And he makes the first rather difficult jump pretty easily, but he does bonk on that wall trying to get the long jump over to this girder sandwich moon. He does make it though on the second try, and he will be moving over to the buildings across the way. And makes it up real nice and easy, and long jumps across over to the wire. Julgane moving into the Lost and Found, which if you miss one of these cycles, it will slow you down a decent amount. So we'll see if Julgane makes this, and he does make it onto that platform in time and gets that climb there. So having a pretty good Lost and Found so far, as HDlax is doing the first tricky jump of Metro, and he does bonk there, unfortunately, so he's going to have to go for it again. The jump is easy to mess up, so it's understandable that it can happen, but see here, Julgane making that jump, so he didn't have to climb through the whole way again, as HDlax unfortunately misses it a second time. And bonks. Just having a bad night Metro so far from HDlax, but if Julgane gets this 3 cycle, it will basically throw away his entire lead, it looks like, but Julgane gets a very swift first cycle with that Wiggler in the boss fight, and we will see HDlax going up into the Lost and Found, which Julgane finished just a little bit ago. We'll see if HDlax has just as an easy time as Julgane did there. Let's do the long jump and triple jumps up. He does make it up, does make that cycle. Excellent job. Does make it up there and up and away, as Julgane will be starting the second cycle of the Wiggler here. So we will see if Julgane does get the 3 cycle. It can be pretty difficult, and he is, a lot of these are spaced out quite a fair amount, so he may miss the 3 cycle here, but it looks like he does get it. He was patient enough, he just got it there. A little bit of a sloppy 2 cycle, but he did get the 2 cycles, so still an excellent job from Julgane, as HDlax is just going into the fights. I believe Julgane may have gone for the tank on the right, while HDlax is going for the tank on the left, which I find harder to aim, but nope. And HDlax having some trouble hitting the bug there, which was a little bit strange. I'm not sure what happened there. The Wiggler. But yeah, he'll be waiting for the second cycle now, as Julgane's moving on to Day Metro, and Julgane, I think we'll likely see him going for Scooter Clip, where he'll clip his head into a cage while riding on a scooter to get a moon a little bit faster than you otherwise would. But we'll see if HDlax goes for that. It is a pretty difficult trick, and I'm not sure if it was patched on 1.2 or not, so we'll see if he goes for it. But HDlax shooting the Wiggler, and it looks like he may get the 2 cycle. It'll be very close. Oh, he just misses it. So he does have to do the extra cycle with this boss fight, which is unfortunately about a 30-second time loss. And I didn't even see Julgane do the scooter clip, but just by the fact that it was so fast, I think he did do the scooter clip there. A very, very fast beginning to his Metro. You know when it's fast if you can see the taxi there. HDlax does have trouble hitting the final little spot on the Mecha Wiggler, unfortunately. But Julgane has some having an incredible day Metro so far, and really a pretty solid Metro all in all. But yeah, Julgane having a really solid day Metro so far, and really only one bonk in night Metro as well, so the whole thing was very solid. We'll see if he can keep that up for the rest of the segment here, and HDlax just finishing that boss fight. It's really unfortunate getting that 30-second time loss with the 3 cycle, but it happens sometimes. It's hard to say what the time difference is. We'll have to check what the time difference is when Julgane is finished with this Metro here. Julgane, nice controlled climb on the tower there. Very solid. It's really easy to bonk, so it's good that he didn't. HDlax looks like he might be missing the cap teleport there. We'll see. But Julgane getting the dive moon. HDlax unfortunately misses that teleport. And we'll see if Julgane gets the bullseye here with the ground pound. I think he did get it there, which is excellent. And HDlax isn't going for that scooter clip. He's going for the proper way, the intended way, with getting it with that little RC car there. And now we'll jump out of the man and move along. Julgane in the crowded one. A very, it seems like a significant lead from Julgane now. It'll be very hard for HDlax to catch up. Pretty much, I think the only thing that could allow HDlax to catch up at this point with one mistake would be the mech fight or a death at a really inopportune time. But there, Snowy Panda Bear, there just wasn't anyone else to commentate the race, so I'm doing the commentary solo here. But HDlax could have gone for Scooter, as it does work in 1.2 still. Actually, yesterday in my race against Dram, he did do Scooter Clip, and he was on 1.2. HDlax bonking there, but Julgane getting this, the final 2 moons, getting the dead Mecha Wiggler, and then the OTEP moon. HDlax not having trouble with that one there. And Julgane getting that OTEP. HDlax getting this moon. Pretty solid tower climb from him. I don't think he bonked. I wasn't paying too much attention there, but I don't think he bonked climbing up that tower. Like I said, it is really easy there. Julgane finishing off day Metro, as HDlax is about 3/4 of the way through Metro, so we'll see here. It looks like HDlax did get the bullseye there as well, and we will see. Julgane is going to finish Metro at around 3:22, and we'll see how far ahead he is compared to HDlax in a moment when HDlax finishes up. HDlax getting those awning jumps, very nice. He picks up the moon in the crowded hallway. But HDlax, a few moons to go, only 3 left. Just gotta talk to 2 musicians and smash a dead body. And Julgane did go to Seaside first because he didn't have enough coins there. We'll see if HDlax remembers to do that as well. If you do have enough coins, you generally just go to Snow first, because it is the first option that is sort of given to you, so you don't have to scroll down and do any extra movement there. But Julgane making that first jump look easy. It is easy to jump on it, because it is rather precise. You have to have some good timing for that one. Julgane getting a few moons here, and it does look like HDlax is over a minute behind, probably close to 1 minute and 45 seconds. Maybe a little bit less than that, we will see. Julgane getting one of the trickier moons in Seaside. I'd say it's the most difficult moon in Seaside myself. I have the hardest time with this one. And Julgane missed it there on a little bit and had to course correct in midair, but he did get it without falling down, so pretty solid. And HDlax is just finishing up Metro now, so we will see that HDlax is about 1 minute and 58 seconds behind, which is pretty significant, and that's going to be really hard for him to bring back here. But anything can happen. A few poorly timed deaths, or yeah, I guess that's pretty much that'll do it. If someone dies on a boss fight, that can do it. But really, right now, it seems like it's Julgane's race to lose. Having a 2-minute lead is pretty significant. But Julgane having a pretty solid Seaside. I didn't catch any fish bonks there. And we'll see HDlax, see if he has any trouble with this rather tricky jump in the beginning of Seaside here. No bonks. Excellent. As HDlax going for the Pipe Moon, as Julgane gets his last 2. So pretty decent lead for Julgane. It'll be hard to bring any time back from that performance from Julgane with that Seaside. But I don't think Julgane actually had any fish bonks whatsoever through that whole kingdom. So a very solid. And HDlax does miss that moon, but he gets it on the dive there. And Julgane's just finishing up now. HDlax grabs that wall by accident and nearly bonks on the wall as he was rolling past. But let's see if he gets this, the flower really nice and smooth. Looks like he's lined up, so he should be getting it fairly easily, and he does, just like that. And Julgane is finishing up this kingdom right now. Now going for the Gushin. And picking up the rest of the moons in Seaside here. 6 to go, it looks like, which still is a lot. Julgane now going to Snow Kingdom because he should have enough money, I believe, and HDlax at the end of this kingdom actually won't have enough money to buy a moon, so he's gonna have to look for some coins in Snow because this tunnel only gives you 40 coins, so he will need to find 20 in Snow Kingdom at some point. 15 to 20, depending on how many he gets from killing the enemies in Seaside still, but he is, yeah, you can see he needs 24 coins to get to that 100, so really unfortunate. Gonna be a time loss in Snow Kingdom for him there because of the lack of coins, but I think that Julgane does have enough at 116, so we won't have any trouble buying that moon there. As he gets the Captain Toad moon there and jumps down to the Shiveria. There you go. Picking up that wall jump moon, nice and smooth. HDlax going up, getting the extra coins there. Being smart about it, getting the extra coins in Seaside where they're easy to come by as opposed to trying to find some in Snow. Now, there are a few places that you can get a decent amount of coins in Snow. There is this place you can ground pound at the beginning of Snow, right after you get Captain Toad. There's a pile you jump off of that you can actually ground pound on to get 8 coins, so it'll be interesting to see if he knows that one. And also, there's the crates at the very beginning, so he may not worry too much about the coins after picking up those extras from the end of Seaside. But Julgane having a really good Snow so far, no real major mistakes, but it can be pretty easy to die on the Grape Juice room and the Goomba room as well, so we'll see if that happens at all, but no bonks. It is really easy to bonk on these this Snow Kingdom here, just because of how narrow a lot of the hallways are. But it looks like Julgane might be, just misses the fast cycle there, but makes it up with a triple jump. Still pretty fast, and we'll see here how HDlax deals with his coin situation. Does pick up the extra coins there, an extra 3, so he does know about that pile, it seems like, but he just hit it in the wrong spot, so he may just get that on the way back. And Julgane not really having any trouble with that grape juice room there, and gets through it very quickly, and HDlax talking to Captain Toad. And we'll see if he tries to ground pound that pile again, as you do get some coins from it. And he does, yes. And there are 3 more coins there, which will be one too few to get to 100 coins. But it looks like he's going to go for the last 5 inside. Julgane going into the Goomba room, which, let's see, he could actually accidentally kill a Goomba at some point, which can be pretty easy to accidentally kill a Goomba, but he keeps them all alive, and you can see HDlax there getting all the coins that he needs, and he will be picking up the moon in the shop now that he has enough money. Julgane does go for the ground pound roll cancel triple jump strat, and he does get it, which can be pretty scary. And he does just make it onto that platform there. It's very close. HDlax going on to this umbrella jump, and he mixed it up real nice and easy. Try. It's a bit of a difficult jump sometimes, so it's good that he did it. And yeah, it doesn't look like Julgane really had any problems with this snow so far, so very solid performance from him. And really, aside from the problem with the coins there that HDlax was having, it's a pretty solid snow from him as well. But Julgane just finishing up snow here. Very solid performance from him. And HDlax almost making that fast cycle, but just missing the ground pound there in the grape juice room. But getting that moon a little bit slower than Julgane, so it allowed Julgane to pull ahead a little bit more in this kingdom. So there is a pretty significant lead now for Julgane. Maybe 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I'd guess, at this point. Maybe a little bit more, just because HDlax had a little bit of a hard time getting those extra coins that he needed, which is rather unfortunate. Julgane moving on to Luncheon Kingdom, the food-type evolution. And this is one of the kingdoms that a lot of the jumps that you can do, you can die on and lose a pretty significant amount of time. So if that happens, that may be able to give HDlax a little bit of an opportunity to catch up here, but we will see. Julgane's been having a pretty solid race so far, so it'll likely, it seems as though he will stay consistent and be having a pretty good Luncheon. But like I said, anything can happen. Single mistake. At this point, a single major mistake wouldn't cost Julgane the race. It'll at least 2 or 3 mistakes from Julgane that are relatively major to cost him this one. But solid start. No, nothing wrong with that start from Julgane. No real mistakes there, aside from the damage he just took on Spirit, which isn't that consequential in the whole scheme of things. It's 3 seconds, maybe. Nothing too crazy. HDlax picking up the final moon here in Snow Kingdom. And we'll see how far back HDlax is and what's going to have to happen for him to be able to win this race. But we'll see here the time that HDlax throws out on the globe to see how far behind he may be. But it is a race. Anything can happen at all. Julgane just finished up the boss fight there as HDlax finishes up that boss fight, or finishes up that Snow Kingdom. I didn't catch when he hit the globe, but it seems as though he is a little bit over 2 minutes behind now. Maybe 2 minutes and 15 seconds or so. I didn't catch it though. Yeah, it's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So a pretty good lead for Julgane. It'll be hard to lose this race for him, but that was a spot that Julgane could have died and lost a decent amount of time. He made it through, but Julgane in the chat. Interesting, Julgane goes for that top of the building there. I haven't seen that strategy in a while, but whatever works, I suppose. It is a race. HDlax going for the safer strat here, going for the triple jump, and he does miss the triple jump, unfortunately. Just misses, grabs the wall a little bit too early there, forgot to do a cap throw, something of that nature. Julgane getting that turnip as he moves on a little bit sloppy onto that pillar there, but gets up, and now he will be jumping down with a long jump. Long jumps across. It is easy to miss that long jump after you get the checkpoint. Can take your long jump input and just let you fall. The Pepto there, so good that he didn't miss that. Julgane going into the Forks room, where he will be zipping up and be seeing if his forks are nice and clean. And it looks like he did accidentally do a spin throw there, but the spin throw did catch one of the forks, so didn't lose too much time for that one. Julgane, oh, almost fallen there. It's a very bad place to fall if you're going to fall right at the very end, because then you have to climb all the way back up. Fortunately, didn't make that mistake, and we'll be seeing if Julgane may be doing turnip clip here. But is going for this jump up top. He does miss it once. He'll go for it again, I think. Yep. Does get it on the second try, though, so that's good. And he's going on the right, so it looks like he likely will be going for the turnip clip here. And HDlax finishes up that boss fight pretty solid, and we'll see what strategy Julgane employs to get this throw. And it looks like he will be trying to do a strategy I haven't seen yet. He does miss one of the throws, though, so just wasting a little bit of time. You will have to pick up that turnip again, reposition it, get back in the pan bro, and now he will try the clip, which looks like that should work. Maybe a little bit too far to the right there, and he was. But HDlax really solid still for after that boss fight. Really, the only mistake that I could see that was anything significant was missing that triple jump right at the very start. But Julgane, with the sloppy turnip clip, may not have saved any time over the cheese if HDlax does do a good one, so that may not be any gain for time on Julgane as long as HDlax has a good cheese skip here, or not cheese skip, as if he has a good cheese here. But Julgane going for this last moon behind the wall where he will ground pound it. Does get it, just like that, and HDlax also getting that long jump across the Pepto there, which is pretty easy to miss. I miss it a lot and just fall right into the Pepto. Happens a lot. HDlax waiting for that, waiting for the lava bubble. He did have to wait for it because the camera wasn't in the right direction. To not wait for that lava bubble there, you have to point your camera downwards as you're long jumping from the pillar way up top near the pot. But HDlax, relatively clean forks, playing it a little bit safe, but whatever works. He does accidentally shoot himself downwards there, unfortunately. But Julgane getting this last moon there, and just skipping through some cutscenes, so he didn't really make any major mistakes, so there's, I think, really only one or two things that could cost Julgane the race now, and that would be maybe dying on the mech fight. I guess dying on the ruined fight would cost him a boatload of time as well, or dying on somewhere at the end of the moon, but it's going to be very difficult to mess up some of these things here, but we will see. Anything can happen. It is a race. There is a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. HDlax trying to get the switch. Little bit of trouble there. missing it a little bit, going too far forwards, but you will see him do the older strategy, and now I guess technically it's a newer strategy. Have to get these again. Julgane starting off this boss fight, probably bonking on one of these keys, but he didn't. It's very easy to bonk on those knife things. HDlax, only a few moons left in Luncheon, and one of them you do have a little bit of a chance to die on. It's the one after this one. We'll see if he has any trouble. But Julgane just on the auto-scroller, nothing too crazy happening. But HDlax makes that jump and misses it, but he doesn't die. Lands on the right surface, so he didn't fall off. And making it up nice and smooth over to the last multi-moon. But Julgane seems like he got the first hit for the dragon nice and easy, and just waiting for that dragon to fall down again so he can take the deliberate damage here, so he can get on the dragon just a little bit faster than you normally would be able to. Makes it easier to get these knives out of his head. Yeah, another solid cycle from Julgane, as HDlax is skipping these final two cutscenes of Luncheon and talking to Cappy, and then moving on to the Ruin fight as well. But a pretty solid lead for Julgane. Like I said, it is his race to lose at this point. Julgane finishes up this fight and picks up the multi-moon just as HDlax is going to be entering here. So still a little bit more of a lead, like just because of that Luncheon. Maybe 2.5 minutes or so now, I'd say. Like I said, I think the only thing that could cost Julgane this race is a death at the very end sequence of the Moon Kingdom, or a death on the mech fight, or just multiple deaths in Bowser's Kingdom. But they are difficult kingdoms, so it could happen, but we'll see. Based on Julgane's performance, it'll be, seems unlikely. HDlax starting out this Ruin fight here. Steve does take that deliberate damage, of course, and gets that there. But Julgane going for the first... Interesting, I've never seen this strategy before. Julgane going for an interesting strategy. I haven't seen that way to get up. Maybe a bit of an easier way to... I'm not sure if it's faster or not. That might be something I'll have to look into in the future, but interesting way to get up. He doesn't touch the bird, so it looks like he will be going for either the glory hole moon at the end or the moon behind the wall. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it is the one that's hidden in with the crates. HDlax, I don't think he's had a bad boss fight at all here. Maybe missed a throw or two, but it's hard to lose time on this boss fight. But I think it's likely that Julgane will go for behind the wall. I should learn its official name. That will be after the tokens that he will be picking up here, but HDlax finishing up that boss fight, and we'll be moving on to Bowser's real soon. See Gane picking up these shards here and making it across there. He opts to go birdless. You can choose to pick up a bird there. It is slightly slower, but is a little bit easier. Julgane accidentally getting that spin throw. Yappy freaks out a bit, which is kind of funny there. Just got caught behind the wall, but Julgane... Looks like Julgane won't be going for the Glory Hole, and yes, Glory Hole is the official name for it's right over there in the corner of Julgane's screen. Can't see it anymore. It was behind a metal block. But Julgane still significant lead and hasn't made any mistakes yet, it seems, in Bowser's Kingdom, so a solid performance from him so far, and really that was a pretty good ruin from HDlax as well. But it's easy to die getting this moon, and it looks like he will be getting this moon. It is easy to miss your cap on the dive there, but he didn't miss the cap because the camera does turn a little bit and can make you miss your dive, but doesn't miss it, gets the moon, moves on to the boss fights, which are one of the things that if you die on one of these boss fights, you'd have to go through them all over again, and if he dies on them, then that will be a significant time loss for him. HDlax goes for the purge, but doesn't get the moon behind the wall there, so it looks like HDlax will be going for the Glory Hole moon. You can see two different strategies for this entire beginning Bowser's from both of them, but Julgane having a very smooth topper fight, didn't miss a single hat there, so an excellent topper fight from him. Maybe half of a second to a second he could have done it faster, but still very, very solid. Topper is hard to do quickly, and Julgane definitely did it fast. Julgane starting the Harriet fight, where he gets the first hit on Harriet, nice and easy, and HDlax will be moving on to these tokens here in just a moment. Let's see how these moon shards go for HDlax. Gets the first one about the same speed as Julgane there. Second one even a little bit faster maybe, but HDlax also opting not to take the bird here, but does use a bit of a safer strategy with a backflip there and aligns his camera first before jumping up on the wall. We'll be capturing the bird here, and we will likely see him take the Glory Hole moon as well, because he did not leave the bird there, but Julgane had a very solid Harriet fight, really fast, and you can see here, we'll be getting this Glory Hole moon, and then picking it up, and moving over to that moon, so HDlax won't have to pick up the moon that Julgane is about to pick up here, you'll see. He'll be jumping behind a big wall here and getting a secret moon. One of the more well-hidden ones in Bowser's, in my opinion. But Julgane missing that triple jump, so we will be going for a ground pound jump here, and then jumping behind this wall, destroying the crates, and grabbing this moon, just like so. But HDlax, you can see, is actually going behind this one first, just playing it safe. It is easy to die in Bowser's, and I suppose if Julgane does die, it's probably better if HDlax doesn't, so he's saving some time there as opposed to trying risky strats and failing. But Julgane did take a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's going to cost him the 2 seconds, because he won't be picking up another moon before the boss fight, and he does hit that checkpoint there, so he does have full health now, so really pretty inconsequential damage from that one. It's solid bird, could be done a little bit faster, but didn't fall down at all, so pretty quick. And see Julgane moving through here very nicely and starting this fight here, and he will be doing the strat where you jump on the front of the leg, as opposed to the newer version where you jump on the sides of the leg, the little half spheres that are on there, but does make it back onto the mech, and it looks like Julgane's controller is low on batteries, so that may be an issue if he runs out before the run is over. We'll see. But it doesn't fall off the mech, and this is the one thing that could cost Julgane the race, is if he falls off this mech, and it looks like he did get back on there. Almost hit the ears, but got back on. HDlax had a really solid topper fight as well. Excellent. It would be a shame if Julgane lost this race because of controller issue with the batteries, but if it happens, I guess it happens. That would probably lose on the race. Have to go find a charger for the controller, but pretty good a mech fight from Julgane using the older strat. It's only maybe 2 to 4 seconds slower, so not that bad, and pretty much no mistakes other than missing the single ground pound on the final orb of that mech fight. But I think Julgane probably will have enough battery left in his controllers there. Like, they probably give you a warning if... Oh yeah. Julgane says this is probably at least 30 minutes left, but should be good to go. HDlax, seeing he's missing that extra moon there. Is he gonna die here? He does do that extra wall jump, saves him. I'm not sure if that was deliberate or if that was a backup. It looked like a backup to me, so if it was, a very good recovery from HDlax. HDlax, I'm in with this bird, making it all the way up, and a very solid Bowser's Kingdom from Julgane. No crazy mistakes. Oh, HDlax kills the bird there, but there is another one right here at the ready, so not a crazy time loss, maybe 10 seconds or so, but it's still time that HDlax really can't afford to lose at this point. But we'll see if HDlax is as good of a mech fight as Julgane. We'll see. Mech fight can be very difficult, but it looks like he is also going for the front of the leg strat. We'll see if he does it as good as Julgane, and he does. In my opinion, getting up is probably the hardest part, so he's done that now. As long as he doesn't get hit by the ears here, he should be fine. He doesn't get hit by the ears. Excellent job. And get up on the mech again. Fantastic. Julgane starts the moon here, and we will see if Julgane is going to be vectoring, where at the beginning I mentioned where you zigzag with the frog, but it looks like he isn't going to be doing that. Maybe HDlax might be able to make up some time for that. Julgane having some trouble there with the rolls, almost bonks after that long jump. Cost him a lot of time. Looks like he will be fine. Just long jumping across the moon. And gets to these flowers, and we'll be running all the way through here to Moon Skip, where we will skip the Moon Cave, which takes about 5 minutes or so. Let's see if he gets it first try. Nice and smooth. It seems like it's a pretty good setup, and he does get it on the first try. Excellent job. And he will be jumping up in this direction and going up to the final boss fight of the game, a rematch with Bowser, and HDlax finishing up the mech fight there. He had a really good mech fight, it looked like. No problems with falling off, very fast. And Julgane going into this boss fight now, just as HDlax will be entering, looks like maybe Julgane will be finishing up the Bowser fight once HDlax is entering Moon here. But a death on this Bowser fight will cost Julgane a lot of time. It doesn't happen very often. You don't see it very often at all. But it is still possible. Anything could happen. I've seen a race that was almost this far ahead swap places once. So it has happened once in the tournament already. Someone has thrown away a 2.5 minute lead. But anything can happen. Julgane having a very solid Bowser fight so far. Getting that second half. Remembering to jump the twice there instead of the one time. And just jumping over the fire, and HDlax just going into Moon as Julgane will be doing the third stage here. But picking up that last hat, nice and easy, and looks like HDlax will be trying the vectoring here across the edge, but will he make it? Not 100%, yeah. vectoring a little bit incorrectly, but still gets a triple jump across, which I think is probably faster than rolling that way anyways. Julgane done the boss fight, moving on to the final section of the game where we will be capturing Bowser and destroying some rocks. So, the only thing I think that could save HDlax is perhaps a missed moon skip and then, or a missed 2D skip, and then failing on the very end sequence and dying again. But that's very unlikely to happen. I doubt we'll see it, but see, it looks like HDlax missed the moon skip once there, but does get it on the second try. Good. It can be pretty tricky if you're trying to do it quickly. It is easy to mess up if you are in a rush, trying to make up some time on a race. Julgane, see if he gets this 2D skip. He does, nice and easy. Now, jumping up in this section, finishing it off. So now, the only thing that would allow HDlax to possibly bring this back is a death from Julgane at this very end sequence here, but it's probably not going to happen. Let's be realistic. It's pretty tough to die on this last section, but I have seen it happen. It is possible, but HDlax getting a good first stage for Bowser in the fight. Julgane getting some fireballs in there. It's, I'd say, about 3 of them it looked like. We'll see when he looks back at it again. And hitting a few more of the fireballs. Looks like he will hit 4 of them there. Oh, yep, hits 4 of the fireballs on the way there, and then we'll be hitting this second to last pillar, and really this looks to be the end of it here, as HDlax is just in the boss fight here. Doesn't hit it enough times, does he? He does. Alright, so I don't think there's anything that Julgane could do to accidentally fall off the edge, so it looks like that will be the race for this one, but HDlax is just finishing up the boss fight here. We will see it. Does get that damage strat, which is excellent. And let's see if Julgane wants to come in for an interview. But a 107.01 is an excellent time. Very, very good. That was actually pretty close to his PB pace, I believe, because his PB is 106.55, so he was only 6 seconds off of his personal best, which is really, really good. And still, this may be... I'm not even sure. This doesn't look like it's PB pace for HDlax, as he has a little bit too much to go, but they're both very close. They're both going to be very close to their PBs, which is really respectable in a race setting, so this will be excellent for the both of them, as long as HDlax doesn't do anything too crazy and die. But let's see if Julgane wants to come in for an interview here. Alright, we have Julgane here.
Hey.
Excellent race from you. Really close to your PB there, only 6 seconds off. That's excellent.
Yeah, that was really close.
Really good job. That's one of the best times the tournament has seen so far, I think.
Yeah, that was a really good run. Like, I only choked maybe Sand and Luncheon, but the rest was kind of clean. I guess.
Yeah, really the only major mistakes were that that clip in Sand there, where you accidentally clipped into the room, and then
yeah, I lost like 25 on Sand, so I would have PB'd, but
yeah, you brought it back there. Excellent job.
Yeah, thanks. Excellent jump to HD too.
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty close to his PB as well. Looks like just a little over a minute off. So what happened in Luncheon that you said you choked on? I'm not sure if I saw just a lot of minor mistakes or what.
I choked a bit turnip skip.
Oh yeah, that took a little bit of time.
and yeah, that was like 20 seconds of my gold, but my gold was like very, very good. So.
Still, 6 seconds off a PB, a 107, a low 107,
Yeah.
almost 106.
It was crazy for a race. I did not expect that. I PB'd yesterday. I did a 106.55.
Oh, great!
And,
so you
and before that was 107.17. So if I didn't PB yesterday, I would have a PB today.
That's awesome. It's been a really good 2 days.
Yeah.
Let's ask HDlax if he wants to come in here. Yeah, I don't really think anything else major happened. I guess the few issues with the flower skip there took 3 tries and then just decided to take the road. That was another little thing, but
yeah,
like your mech fight was really, really good. And
yeah, I
got
don't do the faster strat, but I guess
it's only like 4 seconds or so. It's
yeah.
nothing. Like the scooter clip was really smooth too, so. And it looks like HDlax is in here as well.
Yo, what's going on?
Not too much. Excellent job on your race. A sub 110 is still super respectable.
Yeah, I messed up pretty much everything up until that late game.
It does happen occasionally. Just having a bad run. Can't reset in a race setting.
Exactly.
It's still really good. Anything you want to comment about your race that stood out?
I will say that Luncheon was pretty good, besides that first jump. Bowser's Kingdom went surprisingly well, except for that wall climb at the end. Excellent mecha.
Yeah, really kind of caught your stride a little bit there with Luncheon only missing that triple jump. It seemed like was the only mistake I saw in Luncheon. And then, yeah, with the Bowsers was just the wall climb as well. Yeah, really solid.
Apparently you died on in Lost, but I didn't see how.
Yeah, it was at the end going for that last moon.
All right,
I think you both bonked on the bridge there was what happened. You both tried to get up on the bridge and
I was
bonked.
really relying on those 10 coins.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you had to look for coins in Snow Kingdom. Just didn't have enough after Seaside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both went for Seaside. Because we didn't pick much at the Sphinx.
But I guess with that, is anything else you guys wanna say before we close this race off?
Not really.
Good job, Julgane.
Yeah, good job,
Slay
HD.
next round.
Count on me.
Well, thanks for racing, you two. It was an excellent race. You both did really, really well. Both really good times.
Thanks for the race.
Yeah, it was fun.
Highly respectable. And that moves Julgane up into, I think, top 8, I believe, of the tournament. So he's moving on. I think 8 people left. And HDlax with a very, very respectable top 16 for the any percent tournament, which is still really good. There's a lot of people that entered this tournament that are really good at the game too. But that's pretty much it for this. Make sure to follow both of these people on Twitch. They will be linked in chat. And both very talented. And thank you for Speed Gaming to host this tournament. And yeah, congrats to both racers.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for the stream.